Well, hey everybody, welcome to the update. Um, Still plugging along on the scenery on the background in my mountain. I did get a lot done today, made big progress, and I'm going to show you in this update. Also, to open up, I'm going to show you a pickup I got at our local Hobby Lobby. They moved to a new store, and so some of the things I like to buy, they were getting rid of, so they had them like marked way down. So I grabbed a few things because you couldn't pass especially they're going to fit in with what I'm doing right now once it's kind of finished and painted and stuff. So got that going. On this update, one of the things I bought was some like Sculptamold stuff, like plaster. It's kind of weird. You kind of see, like, when I pour it, I'll show you in this video how I'm kind of making my rock molds. And when I poured it, it was like yellow, and it's drying like rubbery, and the water's coming up to the top, and I just kind of brush it off. So it looks around the edges to be drying white, but it's kind of weird. Almost looks like oatmeal, but if it does the job, so be it. So I did get this mountain in. I got the waterfall bed in. I got plaster cloth where that's going to be. I still need to plaster this, so maybe in the next couple weeks I'll have that video of me plastering. And there are some areas using the paper technique that look good. If I can plaster it right, I can paint it up to look like a rock cut in that mountain. So I'm very happy with how it turned out. If you've ever used this technique, or you haven't thinking about how to make a mountain, you can use this technique. I kind of show you a little bit how I did it, but you see the finished product. You get the idea, and you see the finished product. Like, first, when you guys saw me build this, you're probably like, I don't know how that's going to turn out. But you can see now it's really taking shape. You can see the shape of things. You can see the riverbed. You can see where the fall comes in. Everything tied together nicely. And you'll see that when that final video where I show you how everything, when it's drying and all that. So also, I hope to plan to go live here in a couple weeks. I have to upload the YouTube Studio to my phone, but I had a problem getting that app. I thought my Gmail password was correct, which I think it was, but for some reason Apple doesn't recognize it. I tried it too many times, and I even changed it and tried it again. It didn't recognize it, and it locked me out of my Apple ID. So until I get that fixed, I cannot get this app that I need, that I want. Number one, to do live, and number two, to edit my videos a little bit better, which on my phone I do okay, but I want to do some other things, music and some pictures in between things, and captions and other stuff that I can do with that YouTube Studio. It should make my videos better. So that's what I'm shooting for, maybe in a couple weeks, come out here on a weeknight or a Saturday or some hell of chat. So as always, guys, like, subscribe. Thanks for watching. Thanks for supporting the channel with your comments. That means a lot. I'm glad to know that people enjoy my work and actually learn something from doing it, and that's what I'm trying to do. So I'll catch you guys this week in a couple of chats or on your guys' videos for sure. I try to watch everybody's I can. So I'll catch you guys later, and thanks for watching, subscribing, comment, everything. Thank you. Hey, really quick, I'm going to show you my, before I get into the update, my haul I got yesterday at Hobby Lobby. Of course, I needed this. I used the coupon, got these for got this big thing for $9. That I paid full price for, which I need to make my rock molds, because I'm using my plaster that I have in the tub. I really need that to sculpt the mountains. I can use this, but I really want to use this for the rock molds, because I think it does a little bit better job, and it dries quicker, so I can kick more of them out. Big haul here. I got this big thing of static grass. I have about half of one of this already, but to refill, to have 1.5 is great going into this mountain area that I need to do. Got this for $3. It's normally like 13. Then I got these nice birch trees that I like. I have a few of these, but I wanted some little bigger ones to go around the waterfall entrance and stuff and in the area. They only had 2 of these. I scarfed them up, man. $2.74. You can't beat that for trees like this. So that was just my little haul I got yesterday. So stay tuned. I'm gonna pour some rock molds with this stuff, show you that, and then I'll get into the update. All right, guys. I showed you that mold at the beginning. So I'm going to make rock molds. I got to make as many as I can. So I'm going to use a little trick. I'm going to use aluminum foil. You've seen this. People have done this. These are, this first set here that I have, and this set over here is a little bit different. This first set, I just copied the big rocks. I tried to do the little one out of my Woodland Scenics mold. But this one's kind of hard to get in there without breaking the aluminum. So you don't want to do that. Don't have to force it down. So just ease it, and it'll follow this pattern. And I put like 4 of them in here because I need a lot of big rocks for my mountain. So I'm going to use this to pour in. I'm going to use this, and then this other one inside here is going to be a huge rock mold. I just basically took it. It'll look kind of like this on the outside, but a little bit flat. Just take your hands, mold it, and then you can pinch off or pinch up sections that you want to have a cut in your rock so it looks real. Probably going to have to fix a few sections in this a little bit, bring them out, but that should work. So I'm going to go ahead and mix this up, and we're going to go ahead and pour. It takes 1/3 cup of the mix, which my wife's going to kill me if she sees I'm using these. Just do this right off there. There we go, nice and level. Put that in there. Put the stick in there. Let me get my water. I'm going to pour, and I don't bring my water. It takes 1 cup of water and about 1/3 cup of the mix. So we'll see how this turns out. I'll do this pour first, probably in this, maybe this big aluminum one here. So according to this is how you make the perfect mix. So we'll see here. I'll just keep stirring for about 90 seconds. This is kind of watery so far. I don't know. Seems a little watery to me. I've never worked with one this watery, so I don't think it's supposed to be watery like this, but I'm going by the directions. Okay, I don't see it setting up on the bottom. This kind of turned out like a yellowy mix looking. So let's go ahead and do this big one first. And okay, well, it's a little thick once I'm pouring it. Can't see that in the camera though. There we go. Let it kind of settle in these cracks. I want to fill in here this big rock mold here, and there we go. It's kind of lumpy there. But I guess that's the color. It turns like a brown color. So I'm gonna go ahead and pour these the rest of the way. Then I'm gonna let them sit. So probably in the next update, I'll let you know how these turn out. So we'll take it from there. From the next section of the video, I'm gonna start on the mountain. So hang tight. All right, I'm still working on getting the mountain ready. It is as close as ready for crumpled up paper as you're gonna get. Cleaned up all my area here. I haven't seen my actual track for weeks. So I vacuumed all this up, cleaned all this up. We're gonna go ahead and we're gonna plaster all this. We're gonna plaster this with plaster cloth, put in the paper, do all this. A couple of things I did, put another support in the middle there. Also built around my tunnel. Painted inside the tunnel, painted it black. Put a little ballast around the tracks. When you look inside the tunnel, you can actually see that. Did the same back here on this end. So I went ahead and vacuumed all that up. So stay tuned. So next is going to be crumpled up paper. Really quick, this is glued here, this part. This isn't. I have to kind of be careful when we do the paper that I don't get over the top of the track. This is fine because it's going to be stuffed in these dividers, and that's what I put them there for. So that should be fine. but I have to kind of watch this area back here where the track's exposed so that I don't get any overhang, and if not, I guess I can get in there and clip it off, because that's why I left that opening. So, but this is the base for the waterfall, so this is where it's going to be, and I can kind of build around it, build up some mountain around it, and get it ready. So I kind of have an idea where the base is going to be. So stay tuned. I'm going to go ahead and start showing you how I crumple up the paper and do it. That's pretty self-explanatory, but I'll show you, and we'll continue on. Okay, getting ready here to do this mountain scene. I had a couple different types of paper. I had a thinner one, and I had this brown thicker stuff that our AC Delco chassis parts come in. So basically this is really easy because I like the thicker one because it's gonna hold a little bit more. You just kind of take it off, crumple it up, just kind of start doing this. See how I'm filling that in and building up the shape. So once you kind of start getting your shape together, take some of your frog tape or some kind of painting tape and just kind of keep it together in place and tape it, because when you do lay down that plaster cloth, some of it may move a little bit, so if you still want to hold a certain shape, just use this. So basically that's it. So I'm going to go ahead and do this, and then I'll come back, I'll show you what it looks like, and then I'm going to plaster. So I'm going to be real close to having seen it, so stay tuned. There you go. Some of this at the top will get weighted down with the plaster cloth, and I'm going to kind of push that down when I do the plaster cloth. And then I'm going to kind of mold this as I do the plaster cloth, as well as this bank. This will be the bank kind of where this river basin is going to be, where the fall comes down. This I'm going to leave open a little bit, and this area I'm going to do as I go to kind of figure that out. That'll be tampered down as well. On top of the little thing to cover the track, I've got the back covered back there with a towel, make sure no plaster gets on my track. It shouldn't. I checked the back for clearance, should be good too. If not, once it's dry, because it's paper, I can probably get back there with some scissors and cut it, which is why I left that open. Then I'm just going to come around and start plastering, and I'm just going to plaster this whole area here up to the track, which I need to put back on. I think I need to put that back on so I know where it's going to be, just so I can trace it, so I have an idea where it's going to be, because I don't want it to sit on the plaster cloth and be off a little bit. I want it nice and flat. So I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to go ahead and plaster this, and I'm going to come back after I plaster. Plaster cloth, I think you guys know, pretty self-explanatory. I'm going to put that, soak it. What I use is just a cheap paint tray you get at Walmart or your dollar store. The rubber, like the plastic liners, excellent. You can soak the whole sheet, because what I'm going to do is take whole sheets and start from the top, work my way down, and just get this top all put in. And then here, of course, you see where the waterfall is going to be, and the river that kind of comes into this waterfall, comes into this bigger river, will be in there. And I'm probably going to plaster a little bit in there to give it a basin. As well as the walls, because what I'll probably do is put one of my rock molds along that wall, and then probably paint this back blue, or I'm going to do what I'm going to do under my other bridge, and I'm going to use a small mirror. So you may see blue sky above, but right here in this space here will be a mirror. It's going to be a great touch eventually. So we're a ways from that yet, but we're a big step in the direction of getting there. So stay tuned, guys. When you come back, I'm going to work about 2 hours or so, probably straight, just plaster clothing, which is nice and relaxing. So as you can tell, I got Harry Chapin on in the background. So you never know what you hear on my iPod. You never know. So I'm going to listen to some music, relax, do my plaster cloth, and I will be back with the finished product. Well, alrighty, guys. There we go. Took just under 2 hours. This is all one, sometimes in spots 2 layers, but mostly 1 layer, and that's okay because I'm going to put plaster over most of this. Anyway, let's take a look. If you've never done this before, or tried this method, this is the driest part, because I started this first. That's very solid. This is starting to set up pretty solid. It's got a little give because there's paper under it, but still very solid. Of course, did my tunnel, taped it off, taped the track, taped this little piece of track off, did the riverbed. One thing I did with the riverbed, made a little lip right here, so it's not going to come out because it's going to be a very shallow pour. Once I put plaster in here, I'll do the same thing. I'll follow this line with the plaster when I do it, so when I do pour, it won't come right on over the edge. So if this is sealed up good beyond that point, we should be good. I also did the same thing back here a little bit, because you kind of see it doesn't meet the backdrop back there, so I don't want it dribbling over. And of course, there's some areas where there's lines like that. May be okay. Some of these areas like this, once they get covered with plaster, I think they're going to look very good. So I'm not sure what I'll do with these rock castings. Definitely maybe put my big one right in this area, or down here in this area. But you can see it's shaped up, I think, with a little plaster, and you shape this up a little bit, especially like right here, this area, this whole area right here is going to look really nice once it's painted. So you catch the bed here for the waterfall, start there, come down, have a little bit of water there, and then down again into this riverbed or basin, which is kind of what I made. Then did the rest over here. I got to pick up where I plastered and plastered the rest of this, and just continue on plastering on. So I may have to get another thing of plaster, but that's it. That's not, this one I got may stretch out, so we'll see. But that's it. I got to clean up the backdrop. Once it dries, take a little isopropyl, clean it up. Take a little isopropyl on a rag and clean up my tunnel portal there. Bring it back to weathering in it. But yeah, that looks good. This is going to look really good above the tunnel. This whole thing's going to look good with a little plaster on it. It's going to look great. It's going to look like it's a rock. So that's going to look good. Some trees up here on this ledge, some trees up there, some trees here and there, but mostly this is going to be more rock than I thought, which is good, which is fine. Just have to see how this turns out. But for now, guys, that's it. I'm going to let this dry, and then we'll come back hopefully in a week or so. Do a layer of plaster, get this all sealed up, and the waterfall bed sealed up. So hope to do that. And so one thing about doing this method, I'll point that out on my intro. So that's pretty much it, guys. I gotta wait, maybe get some more plaster, and that's it. I've got the paint and everything else to do this. I do have to eventually get Realistic Water Woodland Scenics, but I'm a little ways from that yet, so got a lot more plastering to do and planning things out with this. But very happy how it turned out. Looks very, very good. So this is going to be an awesome scene. And one of the things I took into account when I made this scene was if I could come down here like this at level, and my truss bridge will be right in front of you, and then you just see like a nice video of a train running right in front of that waterfall basin. And that's kind of was my plan when I did this, and it came out good. So I can't wait to do a video with that. That's going to be fantastic. So thanks, guys. Always like, subscribe, comment. So I will catch you guys hopefully in the week. Depending on what I got going on, I'll try to get in the live chats. But otherwise, I'll see your guys' videos this week, and I'll catch you later.